We're back to where we were a number of years ago, whereby we warned the political parties, the unionist parties, that by putting the victims into OFM, DFM, it would create major problems. But just imagine the scenario of people who have not one, two, but in some cases three, four, five members of their family, or have lost both their legs, or one leg, or one arm, or whatever, going to the people who actually did that on them to ask for funding. What do you think the people who carried that out would do? They're re-victimising us, whereby they're doing everything they can in the book to try and block our funding. But the sick part of this is we have now been told there's one or two unionist political parties who is behind this as well. Now, I'm all on for groups being audited and checked. A matter of fact, I'm the one, when you go back into the funders, who have always pushed for that to be done. The big problem here is we're not in it for money. We're in it for what is needed to help the victims who have been butchered over this last 30 odd years. And they don't seem to understand that we did not start this organisation for money. But if they want to take it away, take it. And let us go back to doing perhaps what we do best. Let's go back to getting justice, proper justice for the victims. Because I'm sick to my back teeth of people coming in here, going through us with a fine tooth comb and finding nothing wrong and walking out again, not even as much as by your way. But it's the Sinn Féin and some unionists who I will name, or matter of fact I will get named in the House of Commons by other unionists, because they're disgusted at the fact it's happening as well. But anyway, perhaps they don't realise we can't be bought. We're not in for money. And no matter how much you try to re-victimise us, to intimidate us, we ain't going away. And I wouldn't mind if it's only once in the blue moon, but it's every other month something like this is going on. We're having no more of it. And we are going to take them to the Quality Commission, because we are being discriminated because we're Protestants who have suffered at the hands of Republicans. And also ordinary nationalists who are in the group as well, who have suffered at the hands of Republicans. That's the only reason we're being victimised. The IRA couldn't defeat us. Do you honestly think that by harassing us with money? The individual who talked about fat cats within the victim sector, perhaps he should take a look at himself and what sort of money he's on. And I would challenge him. They hadn't even the guts, with the exception of one politician, which was Danny Kennedy, to come and meet me on the victims committee on the OFM, DFM. They hadn't the guts to come and meet me, but they could call me a fat cat, or other people fat cats. They can do all they want and intimidate us all they want. It won't deter us from doing what we do. I'll move on from that. There was a debate in the Stormont yesterday about the Ravy family. I want to clear up a few things here, because I have spoken to the people who have written letters and who have said certain things. The three fellas who were shot, which was completely and utterly wrong. Nobody had the right to go in and shoot them fellas. The third one died, according to the medical records, died a number of weeks later from natural causes. Nothing to do with the bullet wounds. But obviously I would question that myself, because he was shot as well. But that's what the medical records say, that the third one died of natural causes. But it doesn't take away from the fact that he was also injured that night. That's the first point I want to clear up. The second point is whose names have been cleared. The only names that has been cleared is the names of the three fellas that have shot that night. Nobody ever accused them of being involved in anything. So I want to get that cleared up. Nobody ever accused them three fellas of being involved in anything. Their names have been cleared, and rightly so. But let's make this clear. Nobody else's name has been cleared. because I'm sick, and so is our community sick of these people coming on saying they had nothing to do with this or nothing to do with that. And I'm talking about a range of people here. Who did do the killings? Do they think we don't know who was involved in a lot of this stuff? And we're sick to our back teeth of this cry that they have that it wasn't us, it was somebody else. We know exactly who it was. But don't try and argue in our faces that you weren't involved in certain things whenever we know that the people out there who live beside us, and in some cases actually were our very neighbours, were involved in the murder of our people. Now, one other thing I was asked, people seem to have this impression that I am anti-Catholic. I am not anti-Catholic. Whenever I talk about IRA scum, I'm talking about IRA, because that's what they are, scum. And the man that buys the bullet for the gun that shoots somebody, or buys the fertiliser that goes into the homemade bombs, is no different than the boy that plants it. And they are scum. But it's not the ordinary Catholic people I'm talking about. There's a lot of good Roman Catholics in South Armagh who don't want anything to do with the IRA or their past history or their future. So I want to make it quite clear whenever I'm talking about IRA, I don't mean everybody in South Armagh, but I make no apology for saying about IRA scum. But that does not include the whole of the Catholic community. That only includes the Republicans, the IRA and their supporters. And I want to